Hello, my motor enthusiasts. Today, we dive into the world of champions and what it takes to emerge at the top. Max Verstappen seals his third championship in the 2023 season, taking home 19 out of 22 races, and solidifying his position as the third most successful driver in F1 history. His triumphs surpass legends like Ayrton Senna and Alain Prost, and he's been setting records left, right and center. But, as Prost rightly points out, success doesn't come easy. There's a call to action for other teams to step up their game to match the dominance of Verstappen and Red Bull. Meanwhile, Fernando Alonso, two-time world champion, shares a different side of the sport, the disappointments. His biggest regret? Not winning a championship with Ferrari. Despite the setbacks, Alonso, at 42, still holds third place in the Drivers' Championship, proving that age is just a number in motor racing. A whirlwind of victories, setbacks, records, and regrets, that's Formula One for you, folks. Full throttle, everyone. I'm your host, Enzo, bringing you the hottest trends and news from the world of Formula One, live on F1 Motor Fever podcast. With me today is the ever-eloquent Mr. William, our esteemed commentator.
Hello, everyone. Glad to be here, Enzo.
Always great to have you, William. And to our listeners, if you're passionate about everything F1, don't forget to subscribe, turn on notifications and share our podcast with your friends and family. Your support keeps our engines revving.
That's right, folks, it's the fuel to our engines.
So, buckle up as we delve into the intense world of F1. With Verstappen's dominance and Alonso's reflections, there's plenty under the bonnet today. You won't believe the insights we're about to share, every petrolhead's delight.
Oh, I can't wait, Enzo.
And that's the spirit, William. As we always say, full throttle. Let's dive right in. Diving further into Prost's sentiments, he's commended Max Verstappen for his outstanding performance in the 2023 season. The Dutchman snatched 19 out of the 22 Grand Prix races, securing his third championship title.
Indeed, Verstappen's results put him as the third most successful driver in F1 history, right behind the seven-time champions, Lewis Hamilton and Michael Schumacher.
Absolutely. It's quite a feat throughout the season. Verstappen surpassed sports legends like Ayrton Senna, who had 41 victories, Alain Prost with 51, and Sebastian Vettel with 53. He closed the season with a whopping 54 triumphs in his career.
Well, as they say, records are meant to be broken. My dear old mum used to say something similar.
And broken they were. Verstappen won 16 out of the last 17 races, setting records for the most consecutive wins in a single season.
Yes, Prost acknowledged this dominance and pointed out that such a performance can happen when a team is highly successful. It's a clear call to action for other teams to step up their game to match Verstappen and Red Bull's level.
And that's quite a challenge, isn't it? It's not just about catching up, it's about exceeding expectations, pushing boundaries and, most importantly, striving for perfection. Right, moving on to another F1 great, Fernando Alonso. He's had quite a journey in his 20-year career, hasn't he?
He certainly has. After winning the World Championship in 2005 and 2006 with Renault, Alonso is now having a good run with Aston Martin. But as with most careers, his journey wasn't always smooth sailing.
True, his stint with McLaren in 2007 didn't go as planned, and then he joined Ferrari in 2010. And that's where things get interesting.
Indeed, Alonso has recently revealed in an interview with the High Performance podcast that his biggest disappointment in his career was not winning a title with Ferrari.
That's quite the revelation. He even went on to say, "If I could go back in time, I'd change things. Winning a championship with Ferrari probably would be the first thing I'd choose if I could turn back the clock."
It just goes to show how high the stakes are in this sport. But it's not all about the titles. Alonso also touched on the fact that while he might be nearing the end of his career, there's a new life waiting for him outside of the driver's seat.
As he puts it, he's looking back on his career and seeing many good things, good friendships, and incredible experiences. It's a reminder to all of us that winning isn't everything, it's about the journey, the experiences, and the memories we make along the way. Even in the high-speed world of F1, sometimes, it's about slowing down and savoring the ride. Reflecting more on Alonso's words, he shares an important insight. He admitted that he barely remembers anything from the afternoons and nights when he won the championships in Brazil in 2005 and 2006. It's a bit sad, isn't it?
It's a common narrative we hear, isn't it? When we're caught in the whirlwind of success, we often forget to stop and savor the moments.
Exactly. And it reminds me of an event that happened just recently. I was at a book signing, right? And the author was so caught up in signing copies and meeting the next person in line, that she later confessed to not being able to remember a single face. It's all a blur, she said.
Coincidentally, something similar happened to me not too long ago. I was so focused on presenting at a conference that I almost missed out on the entire event's experience. Thankfully, a friend reminded me to take it all in.
And that's exactly what Alonso is attempting now at the age of 42. He's trying to live more of the moments in Formula One, rather than just focusing on the next race as soon as a weekend ends. The way he puts it, when I won the 2 championships at Renault, my time at Ferrari, it was good, but you're very focused on the next race, the next weekend.
And it seems the change of perspective has allowed him to enjoy his victories more. He's become more appreciative of his podium finishes and is making a point to celebrate them. Even as the oldest driver on the grid, he's currently 3rd in the Drivers' Championship and doesn't see his age as a hindrance in his performances.
And that's something to remember, isn't it? Age isn't necessarily a disadvantage. As Alonso puts it, I think in motor racing, being 40, and the knowledge you have at 40, it's not a big disadvantage not to have the body of 20. In fact, he feels fine because his sport is good in the 40s and that knowledge is still being delivered. Let's dig a little deeper. How does Alonso's dominance contrast with that of Max's with Red Bull, and the peak of Hamilton with Mercedes?
It's fascinating to compare, isn't it? Each of these drivers and teams have their unique dynamics and strategies. Alonso's journey, Max's current dominance with Red Bull, and Hamilton's peak years with Mercedes each tell a different story about what it means to be at the top in Formula One.
Absolutely. Different eras, different teams, but all sharing the same passion and drive for the sport. It's what keeps us coming back, isn't it?
Absolutely. And it's what keeps the fans hooked too. The constant evolution, the strategy, the rivalries, the history. It's not just about who crosses the finish line first. It's the journey that gets them there.
Well said. And speaking of journeys, let's not forget the remarkable strides McLaren has made in recent years. An iconic team with a rich history which is once again making its mark in the sport.
Indeed. And it's this mix of old and new, the blending of past legends with emerging talent, that makes Formula One so captivating.
William, let me put you on a spot here. Have you had a look at what's being said on the internet, particularly in the discussion forums, about all this?
Indeed, I have. There's quite a bit of chatter about the potential Formula One contracts for the 2024 grid. A user called Ames started this thread by simply stating, quote, F1 contracts 2024 grid, unquote.
Haha, short and sweet. And how did the responses roll in?
Well, a user named Kevin Breadloaf kicked things off, remarking on how 6 out of 10 teams have both drivers out of contract. He wonders if Yuki will be retained for a 5th season with the junior team given he's been there for a considerable amount of time.
Not a bad point. Any interesting responses to that?
Yes, Teo Otaku chimed in, suggesting that Yuki might be eyeing 2026 for a potential move to Aston Martin Honda if Stroll gets bored of F1. Another user, going by the alias Alphas, humorously adds, quote, it's Alonso, don't be shocked if he still drives if he is 50, unquote.
The age-old debate on when a driver should retire. What else are they saying?
A user named Ruby Cavalry makes quite a bold prediction. She thinks Yuki will drive for another team next year, but it won't be Red Bull.
Now that would be a shake-up. And the response to this theory?
Commercial Breadloaf jumps back into the discussion, suggesting that with Aston picking up Honda, a Yuki and Alonso partnership could be on the cards. There's also some speculation about where Yuki could go if Alonso doesn't want to retire yet and if Stroll stays put.
Right, so there's quite a bit of speculation and predictions flying around.
Absolutely. And there's a funny comment from a user named Opinionated Developer, who quips, quote, not only has silly season started, it has literally ended too, unquote. It looks like the fans are eagerly anticipating the next season's driver lineup changes.
Well, it's always lively in the world of Formula One. Thanks for that, William. Well, that's a wrap for today's episode of F1 Motor Fever podcast. We've had quite a journey discussing the dynamics of Formula One teams, the drivers' contracts, and what makes this sport so captivating. We appreciate your company throughout. Remember to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and share the word about our podcast to your fellow Formula One enthusiasts. Your engagement adds fuel to our discussions.
Absolutely, and who knows, your dinner conversation about the latest race could be the next hot topic on our show. So keep those comments coming. And do remember, we're here every day with fresh perspectives on the sport we all love. You wouldn't want to miss a single episode, would you?
Thank you for choosing F1 Motor Fever podcast as your companion on this Formula One journey. We can't wait to see you in the next episode.
And until we meet again, let's echo our motto, pedal to the metal, keep your gaze on the road, our channel's content is pure gold. See you soon.